the life that we are living. The flesh separates from the spirit. Now, the spirit is what you need to what? Enhance, to intensify, simply because it's going to make you better. You're special simply if you recognize that you're special. Anything that anybody can do, you can do that too. Because the same power source, the same God that lives in the others, live in you. It just, you think about it, who sharpens their, what's it called, power more? And you have to sharpen it. It's a development of relationship. It's simply like you know your parents better than somebody else. So if a stranger came and your parents had to choose, who they're going to choose? They're going to choose you over the stranger. So no, that is just simply like that. Your abilities that you have inside of you is the ability to use and use it on a daily basis. Don't be shy to use it. Don't be afraid to use it. Why hide it? Why act like, oh, that's not cool? That part of life is gone because salvation is not about being cool. It's not about feeling cool. It's not about saying, oh, do I fit in? Remember, the flesh can never be satisfied. So if the flesh can never be satisfied, then you don't worry about fitting in because the flesh will never allow you to fit in. They will always give you an opposition. Except for God. You create a relationship, you develop a relationship, you increase your relationship. All those things helps you to what? Evolve, to grow, to motivate others, to inspire others. Don't you want to do that? That is a true superstar. That is a true hero. Because God's going to ask you, what did you do with the abilities that I have given you? You have all these platforms that I talked about from generations back. When Jesus Christ came, right? The flesh form of the Messiah, when he came onto the earth to really, really do this final spiritual work, right? Unlike the others before, when he came to do that, what were you guys doing? You tell me. What was your inspiration from that? What did you take from that? What were you inspired by? Or did you choose to study all the knowledge and understanding and wisdom, except for you were selfish and you kept it to yourself? Give me a sec. Hold on. Were you selfish? Did you keep it to yourself? Did you think, oh, it's a way where, I'm just going to be myself, or thinking that you are going to do whatever you choose to do and that nobody was going to really care? So I will read the Bible this morning and you will have to understand. See, it says, right? Colossians 3 verses 2. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. Do you see what I'm saying? Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. So what God is in fact saying is, worry about the spiritual things because that is eternal. That is the abundance. That is the power source. That is the unlimited source of power. You see, everything in the spirit manifests physically. But how is going to manifest in the physicality, right? If you are not of God, it will manifest in a what's it called? In a lesser perfection desire, because the flesh is not perfect. And so that means, what that means is Lucifer has access to the manifestation simply because it is not protected by God. You see what I'm saying? So that means if you're not of God and you have a destiny, then what happens is whenever the time frame comes for you to evolve, whenever your time frame comes for you to achieve that particular goal so that you can move to the next level, it becomes 50-50. Instead of 100% manifested and protected by God, it becomes 50-50. So what that in fact means is the devil has a chance. You see what I'm saying? So he has a chance to basically manipulate that destiny because you have given him the right things to do so. You have given him permission without even verbally saying it. It's just what you are doing, right? You don't have a relationship. So even though God knows about you and knows you're a child of God, you are not paying homage. You are not paying your respect. You're not paying your dues. So if you're not paying your dues, what that means is you don't have the respect that you should for God. You don't worship God, right? And if you don't worship God, then God's protection is less on you, right? Because remember, you being alive is protection from God. God keeps you alive until, right, you basically gives you a light and he says, well, I'm going to start you off with this amount of light. And within the light that I have given you, right, there's volumes of unlimited source of power. That is the light that you need always. And however you grow, that light will also grow. But these are some of the things, like you're starting a campfire. You're going to take wood, you're going to take some sticks, you're going to, basically, you're going to cover the fire, right? Protect the fire. And then, so you're going to also need a light. And the light is what God has given you. He has given you a fire. Now, He's not going to give you abundance of it until you have earned it. That means once you start the fire and once you keep feeding it, it keeps growing. Keep feeding it, it keeps growing and keeps growing. Understand that the more it grows, the Holy Spirit is guiding you so you don't go out of control. And a lot of people, right, mistake their waiting time or their waiting efforts for something much different. And so that guide gives you a greater assistance into knowing more about God. It is like God walking with God. The Holy Spirit is of God. The Trinity is of God directly. So God gave Himself to you. Within you, it's God, a small volume. So now here He comes and sends you the Holy Spirit. That is the next part of God. So now it's more of a guide, more of an assistance, right? More of a help, more of an attachment. You see what I'm saying? And that attachment is going to give you a more healthier, substantial relationship with understanding the destinies and the ways of God. So it's going to teach you. And the ways of God is strange to man. They might not understand it. They might think, oh, how is this? How can this be? Why is this person saying these things? How could this person say these things? Remember, the doing is the flesh, right? That's what most people see. The doing is the flesh. The flesh is doing things. Oh, okay. So if the flesh is doing things, then it should show because they're looking at the physical aspect of things. Well, when Jesus Christ was walking on earth and he was wearing sandals and he didn't have the latest gear and he was just walking, simple man, but yet very powerful spiritually, walking upon the earth. and all the highest level of spirits, right, respected him. But did you see how the flesh of the physical people, there's a lot that didn't respect him? Why? Why you think that was? It's because they didn't really see him. You see what I'm saying? More people were looking on the outside. They were looking on the outside perspective, saying, oh, he's just a simple man, simple carpenter. He's just walking around with a stick. His teachings are unique, but he doesn't come from a great abundance of wealth. And when he said, my kingdom, right? What kingdom? Oh, you're talking about physical kingdom, because that's their intellect. So it's like the flesh and the mind and the spirit dwelling on earth at the same time. You see what I'm saying? The mind is the Pharisees. The flesh is just the people that were doing most savage things. But yet Jesus Christ gathered all these disciples. And these disciples had a rough background. And people thought Jesus sitting there and talking and teaching the sinners, right? Because these are the sinners of sin, right? They did so much sinful things. And people were, saying, how could this be? You came, you didn't want to sit with the righteous of the righteous. You just have a bunch of sinners, one or two righteous people. And you were saying that they are, they are your friends. How would you perceive that? How would you intake that? How would you understand that kind of mentality? And you see, Jesus got the disciples to understand the spiritual aspect, to know that it is not the miracles that I am performing. It is the fact that the words of life never lies, and it is the true. It is true. And so because the words never lie and it's the truth, people are going to understand this to the highest of the highest if they understand my ways, if they take time to listen. If you're not in the class, how would you be able to know what is truly going on? And so the disciples, they took time to listen. They took time to what? Develop a relationship with the Messiah. And doing this helped them evolve, help them grow. There are so many ways that the Holy Spirit teaches you how to grow, how to be a blessing to others. There are so many ways. However, do not be shy when you are going on your journey, because your guide is a guide for you and truly created and custom to you. Just like the levels, the Holy Spirit is the same, but yet different. What I mean by that is it's due to your understanding. So how you evolve, how you grow is it's those are the levels that the Holy Spirit will communicate with you. So there's no level 10 or level 12 or level 15. There is unlimited level, but it is your potential. So your potential is also unlimited, but you also have to open doors. That means every level has a test. When you open the next door, you have already gone through that test, and those skills and tools are going to get you through the next doors. And it keeps going like that. You don't start off on the highest level, right? But all those doors require faith, belief, understanding, and doing. You see what I'm saying? Do the best you can, and in order for you to evolve, in order for you to elevate, right? Your growth, your change